Hi, I'm Rachel with Cedar Doodles, and I'm so glad you're here today to follow our puppies on their journey as they get ready to go home. If you've been with us for a while, you know that we have hit that 7-week mark, so we are counting down the days till 8 weeks. Can you believe it's already time for them to go home and be with their new families? One of the most important things that we teach while they're here with us is not only our potty foundation, but grooming and handling foundation. This sets the stage for the rest of their life. Why? Because grooming requires a dog to be tolerant, to be patient, and to learn how to be handled. So let's go through our bathing routine with these puppies and show you how each of these steps is going to bring you the confident, well-rounded puppy that you're hoping to bring home. Now you're going to notice that the first thing that I'm doing is making sure everyone is wet to the skin, and then I'm going to apply the soap. One of the biggest things that people do wrong is they don't get the puppies wet to the skin. They just get them wet on the top. You want them to be wet to their skin and then start applying the soap. Make sure that as you're putting it into their back, that you're working it into their skin. We don't want to just shampoo the top of their coat. We want to get all the way to the skin, because the skin is what holds all the dirt, just normal play and hair. We want to go ahead and make sure that's all clean. So as I go through each puppy, I always like to start at the back, work it up into a lather, and then I'm going to wash all the way up to their neck, and then I'm going to put a different shampoo that's tear-free, more gentle on their face and muzzle. And you can see I'm doing that with Bisou right here. And my daughter is awesome, and she's helping me with Poppy and Fletcher over there on the right. This is a special shampoo that's tear-free. It's easier on their eyes. When I go ahead and rinse them, I'm always going to tip their head back a little bit so they don't get any water into their nose. And then we're going to thoroughly go ahead and rinse out this soap. We want to do the head first and then work our way down. We don't want to be rinsing their back and then get soap all over it when we wash out their head and face area. One of the other things that's very important is that we're shampooing twice. You're going to watch us go through all of these puppies, and then guess what? We're going to go ahead and do it again. Just like in humans, because dogs have oil on their skin, we want to make sure that we're doing the first set of shampoo and we are loosening all of that oil, dirt, debris, just normal puppy play off of their coat. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to shampoo them again so that we can make sure that their skin is completely clean. One of the biggest things that we do after to make sure that we didn't dry out their skin is we're going to put a little bit of conditioner. As you can see, I put it on my hands, I rub them together, and I'm just going to rub that through their coat. So they've been shampooed twice. We've gone ahead, we worked the conditioner through the remaining part of their coat, and I'm just going to squeeze it out. And what I mean squeeze is we're just going to go through the coat and I kind of scrunch their hair a little bit, and it puts the conditioner in, that way there's not too much. Then we move on to our professional dryer. Can you imagine what this is doing for your puppy and building tolerance? This dryer can be loud, and they've never felt this kind of air before until they've been groomed. So we introduced this at 4, 6, 7, and 8 weeks old. We're building confidence, we're building frustration tolerance, so that when we do things like this, they have already gotten used to it. Here's Quinn right here. We're gonna go through a puppy paw trim and a sanitary shave. So I've got these clippers. I like these Andis clippers for this, and that's just because they cut a little bit longer. So when I'm doing the puppy sanitary shave where we trim the hair around their bum, it's not right to the skin. We're going to go over each paw. We're building tolerance. We are building frustration tolerance as well. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to notch the face. We want these puppies to be able to see. And so taking in a little bit of that Andis clipper, we're going to notch, and then I'm just going to go right around the eye, and I'm going to trim out these pieces of hair. Because dogs are chewing on little pieces of food that sometimes can be wet, it's really easy for bacteria to want to stay on the coat right there. I've noticed that if you trim around the eyes and make sure that that area is clean, you're going to have less problems with tear staining, and you're not going to have a puppy that has a dirtier coat in their face area. We're going to go ahead and move on with Bisou. You can see, even though they want to move when I'm doing this, they are very tolerant of it. She just turns around and licks me as I go ahead and I work through each step of this. We are shaping the hair around their bum, and then we're going to go ahead and trim their paw pads. You want to trim off the hair. This is something that their groomer is going to do with them a lot, and this is something that helps keep your home cleaner. I'll say it again. This is huge when you're thinking about clean home living. We want to make sure this is cleaned, and we're going to go ahead and notch her face. I brush the hair forward. I'm going to just go ahead and do a little notch right there. You can see how much it just opens up her eyes. They're so much easier to see, and you can see how patient this puppy is. She's really doing such a great job. Now that she's all finished, you can go ahead and see how much not only that has opened up her face, but for cleanliness, this is a game changer. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to our sweet little crew bear. He is a tank. Absolutely love him. And he is so tolerant when we're doing this. We're going to go ahead, trim out his paw pads, just like we did with all the other puppies. What we're doing is we are building the foundation not only of clean for them in your home, but clean as they are working on their potty routines here with us. We don't want them to inadvertently step in something and then track that smell everywhere. So this is another reason that we do this with your puppy while they are so young. We're going to go ahead and keep working with Crew. We're going to notch his face and give them that distinct teddy bear look that we all love. He has become the just biggest gentle giant out of this group, and we absolutely love not only his way that he holds himself, but his sweet little personality. Moving on to Taylor, who is now Poppy, we're going to do the same thing. Like I said, we're doing the sanitary shave, we're building tolerance, we're teaching them to be okay with new things, and we're also teaching them that sounds and movements don't have to be scary. This is something that they've already experienced before. This is nothing to be afraid of. So when you think about confidence in a puppy, each little step, each successful time that you get through one of these new obstacles, they are building their confidence. And that's what we like to see with each one of these puppies is, are we building confidence? Are we learning more? And are we growing? And I would say these guys are definitely doing that. Grooming is completed. Let's move on to our final product. There is Sweet Quinn. Look how wonderful their coats look. They are silky soft. Moving on next, Sweet Poppy. Look how beautiful she is. I love how popping her white is. She is her mom's mini-me to a T. And I love her spunky little personality. She wants to be absolutely everywhere that you are. Up next, look at her, Sweet Bisou, who has definitely lived up her name. She is the ultimate kisser, and she loves to give kisses to everyone that she meets. She's everyone's best friend, and isn't she striking? I love the 4 colors that we have going on, her blue merle, her copper, and of course, last but not least, is Sweet Fletcher. Look, he is just a tank. He's solid, and that teddy bear face, and of course, his darling copper eyebrows. Which one's your favorite? I'd love to hear below. Thanks so much for joining us as we do this important transition today from dirty to clean and fluffed up, ready to go home. I'm Rachel with Cedar Doodles. Thanks for watching and catch you next time.